But first, here's What's Hot, brought to you by JMMB Group, your best interest at heart. The case against former Stocks and Securities Limited wealth advisor Ann Panton has taken an interesting turn. According to a recent court filing, Panton said she only confessed to the $3 billion fraud because of an alleged offer made by SSL Founder and former director Hugh Croskery. The offer was allegedly made on behalf of the company. According to Panton, she would have not confessed if the offer was not made. The former wealth advisor confessed to stealing billions from investors' accounts over a decade. She was charged with breaches of the Larceny Act, the Proceeds of Crime Act, the Forgery Act, and the Cybercrimes Act. Veteran businessman and founder of the LASCO affiliated companies Lascelles Chin has died. Mr. Chin died Saturday night in Miami, Florida. He was 86. Chin, who served as the executive chairman of LASCO, is regarded as one of Jamaica's most distinguished and respected entrepreneurs and philanthropists. The country's leaders and members of the business community have been paying tribute to the renowned businessman. Prime Minister Andrew Holness described Mr. Chin as a visionary leader and advocate for change, whose entrepreneurial drive transformed LASCO into a household name. Banking fees are going up again. Customers from several banks will be charged for various transactions as institutions look for ways to bring in more revenue. JN, Victoria Mutual, and JMMB Bank are the latest banks to signal an increase in service fees. The bank said dramatic rises in interest rates, inflation, and other costs were the main contributing factors to the price increase. Among the changes, JN customers will now pay a $30 fee for withdrawals from JN ATMs after the first 4. JMMB increased its international RTGS fee charge from $50 to $70, while in-branch services at VMBS, such as cash withdrawals up to $100,000, will now attract a $300 fee. The news comes as several banks have also increased the interest rates on variable loans. Businessman and board chairman of NCB Financial Group Michael Lee Chin has assured shareholders that his health is fine following news that he'll be taking a leave of absence. NCBFG announced last week that the billionaire would be stepping away from his role for 3 months to deal with other matters. The announcement triggered panic and speculation among investors, prompting Mr. Lee Chin to release a statement. He said he'll be using the time away to focus on 2 passion projects in alternative cancer treatments and clean energy. NCBFG's stock price closed Friday at $70.22, down 12% since January. Oil and gas company Exxon Mobil and its partners have reportedly earned nearly $6 billion from offshore oil production in Guyana last year. Exxon partnered with fellow gas companies Hescor and CNOOC Limited to begin production in the country. The group started production in Guyana in 2019 and is responsible for all of the country's oil output. According to the company's financial results, Exxon took in $2.7 billion from its share of the group's offshore oil production, while Hess and CNOOC pocketed $1.5 billion each. The trio were producing about 375,000 barrels of oil per day from 2 offshore vessels by the end of 2022 and plan to pump about 1.2 million barrels per day in 2027. The United States has reached a tentative agreement to increase its debt ceiling and avoid a potential financial crisis. The U.S. debt ceiling is a spending limit set by Congress that determines how much money the government can borrow. The current limit is set at $31.4 trillion. President Joe Biden and Republican House Speaker Kevin McCarthy reached an agreement in principle over the weekend to raise the debt ceiling late Saturday and stop the U.S. from defaulting. The deal still has to be approved by the U.S. Congress before the June 5th deadline. If the debt ceiling is not raised, the U.S. would not have been able to borrow any more money or pay all of its bills, which would have likely triggered a recession and wiped out retirement accounts. What's Hot was brought to you by JMMB Group, your best interest at heart.